There's a lot of die-hard fans out there that truly love the Defender, but the truth is, it's something of a dinosaur now. When it was first designed, it was brilliant at the jobs it was designed to do, but towards the 2016, it was starting to show its age a bit. The safety side of things was of the standard in the 80s, but as of today, it's just out of date. We also shouldn't forget that the last 5 years, Land Rover were really struggling to sell the Defender. It's fallen so far behind in technology, creature comforts and general refinement that Land Rover couldn't entice new customers through the door to buy an outdated product that was designed in the 1950s. Jeremy McGovern had the near impossible job of completely redesigning the new Land Rover Defender as we know it, bringing back a vehicle that could be used in any circumstance and somehow retain the character of a true icon. So how does this Land Rover make you feel? It makes me feel quite comfortable. It's a box, I can see the road quite clearly. It's actually really quite a good driver. I mean, there's a lot of blind spots, but because it's a box, you sort of know where you can and can't see. So you learn to live with it. Turning circle on it is horrendous. The steering feel, even though this is a good one, over 50 mile an hour, you're going to get wheel wobble. It's just part of owning a Land Rover. Things always go wrong. I don't know how they haven't with this one yet. Things always break on them, they always need servicing, they always need a lot to keep them going. This new Defender, on the other hand, that's the complete opposite. They've designed this car to work and be reliable, and it's just generally more refined in comparison to this. It's going to be a quieter car, it's going to be more comfortable, you've got more technology, and it's going to be a more daily sort of car that the people that are going to buy it nowadays are going to use. So, the 2020 Defender. The headlights, they refer to the old style headlights that they went on for like 33 years. You'd have your indicator and your side light, your main beam. You've got the checker plate on the bonnet. Tom doesn't have that, I do. The bonnet looks like the old Puma bonnet. The grille in general, you can see there's some Land Rover design language there from Jerry McGovern, trying to keep with the Range Rovers and things like that he's designed. As we come around, we've got some big 5-spoke alloys. This sort of refers to the little grille we had on the side of the previous Defenders. Big wing mirrors like the last ones. Yet again, you can see everything, very practical. You've got your safari roof. That yet again refers to the last one. Now, these are interesting. If you had, like, I think it's called the Adventure Pack, you can have like ladders and all sorts of things clip onto this, and packaging so you can actually store stuff on the outside of it, and it's very cool, very expensive, but if you're going to use it for filming Top Gear or something along those lines, that's what you would do with it. As we come around to the back, you've got the rear lights. Yet again, they're stacked like they sort of were before, trying to keep with the design language, keeping it cool. I personally love these. I'm not a big fan of the back of the Defender myself, but I actually quite like these. When they're on, they're really bright. I think it's cool, something different. You can see how steep the rake of the back of the car is, so the departure angle when it's actually off-roading is very good. Very clever car. So, under the bonnet, very clean and tidy. It's done 100 odd miles, so that's what you would expect. Now if you look at it, the actual engine is set behind the front wheels, which is very good. That's keeping the weight distribution in the middle of the car, so it actually handles really quite well. Yet again, down the front, steep approach angle this time, so it can get up steep. Well, it could go over logs. It would actually, as it's going up a steep hill, it's not going to grind all the front down. I have heard that there are bumpers that you can get where the winch is actually sat into the bumper if you're doing really extreme stuff. Don't know if you're going to do it. It's an expensive car to do all that too, but it's kind of cool that they're doing it like that.
So the interior of the car is basically all just sort of plastic, but that's so it can be wiped down. You can put mats in. Another feature where they've tried to retain the Defender sort of styling is the exposed bolts on the door. This is what you'd probably see in a Range Rover, this armrest and all the switch controls. It's got Meridian hi-fi sound. So the back is full of tech, so pretty much everywhere you look there's charging. So there's a USB there, there's a 12 volt there, USB, 12 volt, and another USB up there, which is pretty ridiculous. There's so much light in the back of the cabin just because of the massive panoramic roof, and you've got the safari windows up there which they gimmick from the previous Defender. But it's all very nice. You've got all the plastic which is super easy to wipe down, so if you've got kids or chucking stuff in the back, then it will just be super easy to wipe down. Moving on into the boot, you can see some of the Range Rover features that have carried over. So with all the seats down, you can see how much room there is in the back. You have a 230 volt just normal plug, which is great.
So we're going to talk about the infotainment real quick. So you've obviously got your music and your sat nav and all of that, but down here you've got things like your vehicle dimensions, your low traction launch if you need to get away quicker, you've got your valet mode, seat adjustment, things like that, your wade sense and your off-road, which is all very cool. We'll have a quick look at that now. So we've got a very shallow forward here, but I just wanted to show you the wading depth. So wade sensing available below 6 miles an hour. Let's see how deep it goes. So I'm going to stop in the water and look at this on the camera. It shows you how deep it is. So right now we're nothing. We're just about covering the tyres, and you can go right up to the whole wheel. Nice and easy. Minimum sensor trigger depth that we just had there. That's how little that was in comparison to what you would normally do. Massive thank you to Joel Pryor from Resto Rovers helping us do that.
Filming out the back of his old 90.
Yeah, that was proper cool. And
Yeah,
on top
cool.
of that, we had Jack from Guildford Land Rover Inchcape help us out and actually let us pull this off. Yep, so that's cool. So yeah, big thank you to everyone. And Tom from Slide Tribe letting us use his Land Rover.
One of the spanners.
One of the spanners, yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
Overall, really good day. Thank you, Jack and Joel and Tom, for all making this possible. And hopefully we'll have some more cool content coming up.